With the Seek and Destroy update bringing high-power Fox-3 missiles or ARHs, I think now would be a fitting time to take a look back at not the first Fox-3 carrier, but the lesser-known second aircraft. Now, many would be mistaken to assume that the F-14B would be the second airframe to carry Fox-3s. This is only half true. This is the second airframe to carry competent Fox-3s. This is the Tornado Marineflieger, an 11.0 strike aircraft introduced in the 2022 Winter Quest event. This aircraft is interesting for a number of reasons. It contains reverse thrust, a characteristic not seen often in aircraft. It was also the first rank 8 event aircraft, coming hot off the heels of the Apex Predators update. It at launch would have been the lowest BR rank 8, sitting at 10.7, before moving up to 11.0. And then there is the aforementioned Fox-3 missiles. Before we get into the missiles, I'm going to talk about the airframe first. If you're familiar with Hightail, you know the Tornado has its issues. The airframe is one of the worst for its BR, only compounded by the added weight from the flare pods since it lacks internal flares. All it has to make up for this is two 9Ls for air-to-air combat, since getting the guns on target ends up being more trouble than it's worth. Now, when I mentioned it having Fox-3s, I was lying. It's closer to Fox-3s in quotation marks. These missiles are Cormorans, an anti-ship missile with its own quirks. One can easily tell by a stat card that this missile is extremely unequipped to deal with aerial targets, which might have to do with the fact it was designed for anti-ship roles. This is extremely slow missiles with a whopping 1G of pull, meaning that the target can accidentally bump their mouths and evade it. Also lacks proxy, which means you have to score a direct hit on the aircraft. This makes its usage in battles very lackluster. So here's some of the usage in battle. It's kinda really boring because you have the turn rate of a boat. So we start off with two Kafir canards trying to bomb a base. You can see me struggling to pull in there. I have to neg G to keep myself from blacking out since this is experienced crew. But since he's unaware, he's going to eat that 9 out, and this is what most of your kills are going to look like. Just them eating 9 Ls they're not aware of. So I do speed up some parts because you're kind of flying around and doing nothing. So there's this MiG-23, I try to head on, miss, because I have a skill issue with these guns. But he misses too, but it's more reasonable because his guns have bad velocity. So then I try to enter the furball. I see this Mirage. I think maybe it's unaware, but it's a Mirage F1C. They can afford to just dump flares whenever they feel like it, and this is kind of what he does. He does pull into my guns, but I miss because my roll and skill issue on my part. I try to head on a Draken, and I miss. Well, I couldn't even pull into that. I go over here to try to help one of my teammates the best I can with this Draken, and just flying around. This thing's fairly fast. It's faster than the Phantom, so you can get some alright speed, but I miss because I cannot turn, and just entering back into the furball. There's some more Swedish mobiles, a Sab and not a Sab, a Draken and a Viggen, and I go for the Viggen, and I miss, but I also pull away because I see he's getting obliterated and I don't want to steal the kill. And so I turn back in. There's a lot of turning back in, and it takes up most of the fight. So there's MiG-21, he's going to be my rival for the match, and he tries to head on R60 and me, but I have flares, so I flare it, and I miss the head on too. So I speed up because I'm chasing him for a while, and it kind of goes nowhere, and it goes on for like 30-ish seconds, and no progress is made. And so I end up giving up, go try to engage the targets over here, and I go for this Draken, and I cannot pull into it, so I just swing it around the block because that's all I can do to get back to this. Because my turn rate's bigger than the furball, and so I check the teams, see how much is. I see this Phantom. I'm trying to get at least one good fight in, and I miss because again I can't aim these guns. Plus the nose authority is awful. But he does turn back in, which allows me to actually try to get a fight. And as you can see, I just about get the guns on him, but just before I can get the kill, he gets missiled by a teammate, which is fine, because in my opinion, kills aren't secured till you've at least landed a shot on him, so he's free game. And so there's that MiG-21 again, and I chase. This is like most of the match, I just chase him since he's one of the last two dudes, and I chase, and I chase, and he comes to head on me, which is yay. I die because I could not see through the mock cone, but he does crash after that. And so here I am, I'm going around the bombing points. I'm not gonna bomb, I'm just trying to flank. I brought the Comrades this time. The previous match I did not use them to give a baseline of what to expect. But so I flank, I guess is what you'd call it, into the fur ball. I noticed this has some good targets for me because this J-35 does not have flares. Now I'm a little cautious for launching because they're launching flares near them, and I don't want my missile to get distracted. But no, it does not go after any of the flares, and it goes and connects, which will get me a nice kill. But that's kind of abusing all aspect against a flareless jet, which is not really skilled because it's a missile and it can't counter it. And so, but that's kind of how the Tornado rolls. Yeah, can't do much. So I go for this because I think he's paying attention to that F5, and he is, but he flares last second, and so it just barely misses. Which would have been nice to get a second kill, but oh well. And to get another kill by re-entering the fur ball, and so I kind of just fly here hoping to find something good, but I decide now to launch all my Comrades, and I'll give you a spoiler warning, these all just straight up miss. Not a single one connects the target. It doesn't make them move, which is about all they're good for, because they should give up a radar beam. I do prioritize slow targets like the A-10, but it still doesn't do anything. Try to head on the Draken, but I can't pull in time. And so I see one landing, and yeah, I'm gonna use that people landing for kills, but before I get there I get intercepted by an A-10, and because the 30mm on it has good velocity, he's able to snipe some of my control surfaces and my radar. But I'm a Tornado, I already fly like a bus, so this just worsens that, but it is what it is, and I'm still flying at the end of the day, so that's a victory for me. But now I'm crippled too, so I have even more of an excuse to go after this poor guy landing. And yeah, you can expect it doesn't really play out how I want it to, because all my control surfaces are really scuffed right now, and he's not damaged enough to be able to have to land right now, so he can pull behind this mountain, which he does, and he circles around me. But then this F5C gets spotted, so I go evasive against that, just spiraling, hoping that he'll miss his shots, and using the terrain to put something between me and it. And so I keep on doing that. He lands a couple shots on me, only worsening my flight performance. But now I have so much drag on me, I can just roll out of the way. And so I do try to engage him, but then I realize he's probably landed, so I go try to get the guy on the runway. But you can see how long it takes him. He does crash. I don't understand why he crashes. Maybe he has a low crew and it blacked out. I'm gonna count that as a maneuver kill. And so, no, not really, but it is funny seeing F5s drop out of sky for no reason. But yeah, he has repaired, so I'm gonna go make a strafing run, but he does a smart thing and J's out, so I cannot get kill credit. And so I go in the turn and hopefully loop back. He does come back, but there's an F8, and so I cannot engage him again. But this F8, he knocked the brightest in the head and pulled right in front of my guns, giving me the third kill between these two games. But I do crash, because I do not have the flight performance to pull out.